Panoramic, Australia. Chapter 4. Australia's Aboriginal Heritage, the Dreamtime, Aboriginal Spirituality and Creation Stories. In the heart of Aboriginal culture lies the Dreamtime, a sacred narrative that encapsulates the spiritual beliefs, creation stories, and ancestral connections of Indigenous Australians. This intricate tapestry of stories, songs, and ceremonies has been passed down through generations, weaving together the past, present, and future. The Dreamtime is not merely a collection of myths and legends. It is a living philosophy that guides the way Aboriginal people interact with the natural world and one another. At the core of the Dreamtime are the ancestral beings known as the dreaming ancestors. These powerful spirits are believed to have shaped the landscape, created the animals and plants, and bestowed upon them their unique characteristics. Aboriginal people believe that they have a responsibility to care for the land and all living things, as they are all part of the Dreamtime. This connection to the land is reflected in their traditional practices, such as hunting, gathering, and caring for the environment. The Dreamtime is also a source of great spiritual and cultural significance for Aboriginal people. It is expressed through a variety of artistic forms, including painting, music, dance, and storytelling. The Dreamtime is a complex and multifaceted belief system that has played a vital role in shaping Aboriginal culture and identity. It is a testament to the rich spiritual heritage of Australia's Indigenous people and continues to be a source of inspiration and guidance for generations to come. Chapter 4. Australia's Aboriginal Heritage, Aboriginal Art, a vibrant expression of culture. Aboriginal art is a vibrant and diverse expression of the culture and spirituality of Australia's Indigenous peoples. With a history stretching back thousands of years, Aboriginal art encompasses a wide range of mediums, including painting, sculpture, weaving, and rock art. One of the most iconic forms of Aboriginal art is dot painting, a technique that uses small dots of paint to create intricate designs and patterns. Dot painting is often used to depict Dreamtime stories, which are creation stories that explain the origins of the world and the relationship between humans and the natural world. Another important form of Aboriginal art is rock art, which can be found in caves and rock shelters throughout Australia. Rock art often depicts animals, plants, and human figures and is often used to tell stories about hunting, gathering, and other aspects of Aboriginal life. Aboriginal art is not only a beautiful and captivating form of expression, it is also a powerful way for Aboriginal people to share their culture and history with the world. Aboriginal art has been exhibited in galleries and museums around the world and has helped to raise awareness of the unique and vibrant culture of Australia's Indigenous peoples. In recent years, there has been a growing movement to support and promote Aboriginal art. This has led to the establishment of Aboriginal art centres and galleries, as well as increased opportunities for Aboriginal artists to sell their work. As a result, Aboriginal art is now more accessible than ever before and is enjoyed by people all over the world. Aboriginal art is a living and dynamic tradition that continues to evolve and grow. It is a powerful expression of the culture and spirituality of Australia's Indigenous peoples, and is a vital part of Australia's cultural heritage. Chapter 4. Australia's Aboriginal Heritage, the importance of land rights to Aboriginal Australians. Since time immemorial, Aboriginal Australians have held a deep spiritual and cultural connection to the land. Their ancestral lands hold immense significance, not only as a source of food and shelter, but also as a repository of their cultural identity, traditions, and Dreamtime stories. For Aboriginal Australians, land is not merely a commodity to be bought and sold. It is an integral part of their identity, their spirituality, and their way of life. It is where their ancestors lived, hunted, gathered, and raised their families. It is where their Dreamtime stories took place and where their spiritual beliefs are rooted. The importance of land rights to Aboriginal Australians cannot be overstated. Land rights are essential for their cultural survival and for preserving their unique way of life. Without secure land rights, Aboriginal Australians are at risk of losing their connection to their ancestral lands, their culture, and their identity. The Australian government has a responsibility to recognize and protect the land rights of Aboriginal Australians. This includes recognizing their traditional ownership of land, providing them with secure land titles, and supporting their efforts to manage and protect their traditional lands. The recognition of land rights is a crucial step towards reconciliation between Aboriginal Australians and the wider Australian community. It is an acknowledgement of the wrongs of the past and a commitment to building a more just and equitable future. By recognizing and protecting the land rights of Aboriginal Australians, we can help to ensure that their culture and traditions continue to thrive for generations to come. This is not only a matter of justice, but also a matter of preserving Australia's rich cultural heritage. Chapter 4: Australia's Aboriginal Heritage: The Stolen Generations. A dark chapter in Australian history. A dark chapter in Australia's history is the forced removal of Aboriginal children from their families, a practice known as the stolen generations. This policy, which began in the late 19th century and continued until the 1970s, aimed to assimilate Aboriginal children into white society by removing them from their traditional communities and placing them in institutions or foster homes. The Stolen Generations policy had a devastating impact on Aboriginal families and communities. Children were forcibly taken from their parents, often without any explanation or consent. They were stripped of their cultural identity, their language, and their connection to their families and communities. Many were subjected to physical, emotional, and sexual abuse in the institutions and foster homes where they were placed. The Stolen Generations policy has left a lasting legacy of trauma and disadvantage for Aboriginal Australians. Many survivors of the Stolen Generations have experienced lifelong mental health problems, substance abuse, and difficulty forming relationships. They have also faced discrimination and racism in education, employment, and housing. In recent years, there has been a growing movement to address the legacy of the Stolen Generations. In 2008, the Australian government issued a formal apology to the Stolen Generations, and in 2017, the National Apology Day was established to commemorate the anniversary of the apology. There have also been efforts to provide compensation to survivors of the Stolen Generations and to support programs that promote healing and reconciliation. However, much work remains to be done to address the ongoing impacts of the Stolen Generations. Aboriginal Australians continue to face significant disadvantage in many areas of life, and the legacy of the Stolen Generations continues to cast a shadow over Australian society. It is important to remember the Stolen Generations and to learn from this dark chapter in Australian history. We must work together to create a more just and equitable society for all Australians and to ensure that such a tragedy never happens again. Chapter 4: Australia's Aboriginal Heritage: Aboriginal Reconciliation, Moving Towards a Shared Future. For thousands of years, Australia's Aboriginal peoples have lived in harmony with the land, their culture, and traditions deeply intertwined with the natural world. However, the arrival of European settlers in the 18th century brought about a period of devastating dispossession and oppression for Aboriginal Australians. The Stolen Generations, a dark chapter in Australian history, saw the forced removal of Aboriginal children from their families and communities. This policy, which lasted from the late 19th century until the 1970s, had a profound and lasting impact on Aboriginal families and communities, causing intergenerational trauma and loss of cultural identity. In recent decades, there has been a growing movement towards reconciliation between Aboriginal and non-Aboriginal Australians. A key aspect of reconciliation is the recognition of Aboriginal land rights. The concept of native title, which recognizes the traditional ownership of land by Aboriginal peoples, has been enshrined in Australian law since the 1992 Mabo decision. However, the process of negotiating and recognizing native title claims has been complex and challenging. Another important aspect of reconciliation is the recognition of Aboriginal culture and heritage. This includes the promotion of Aboriginal languages, art, and music, as well as the teaching of Aboriginal history and culture in schools. There has also been a growing movement to incorporate Aboriginal perspectives into Australian institutions and decision-making processes. The journey towards reconciliation is an ongoing one, and there is still much work to be done. However, the progress that has been made in recent decades is a testament to the resilience and determination of Aboriginal Australians and the growing commitment of non-Aboriginal Australians to building a more just and equitable society. Reconciliation is not just about addressing the past, but also about building a shared future. It is about creating a society where all Australians, regardless of their background, have equal opportunities and can live in harmony and respect. This video was created from an ebook on sale at www.pagebook24.com using a self-developed program by Pasquale DeMarco. Download the ebook now.